Crazy confusion. Wanderer, his shoulder is right next to the Xenoblade like shoulder ideas for the DLC, right? So confusing. This picture is going to be pretty confusing, right? But you know what? This is what a DLC trailer does that makes it scary, is that it likes to talk about other things. So, breaking this one down is kind of, just a little bit different, right? First of all, the 1-2-8 that's on his shoulder, his cape shoulder, because there's like a 1-2 that's really cool to look at. That's Mario 64 kind of stuff, right? But guess what? If you go to the left, you're going to get your tiny smile, Xenoblade 2, the little smile on your face, right? This is going to get really random. It's going to get really, really random, really crazy. Now, what, your fingers grabbing a butt? You know what I'm saying? His shoulders, kind of like the idea that you would say, okay, here's a butt, but, you can also have your fingers on a butt. Elden Ring's about fingers, right? Okay. And then, this is a very confusing picture, but what I like the most about it is going down the butt. Let's go down the butt and the fingers. Let's go down the fingers, the butt. See, it's like a little uni thing. Yeah. And we gotta keep going down that. And thank you, Spyro, for being really confusing with shadows. Thank you, Spyro. Ray. So most likely, Spyro's shadow doing another Ray kind of thing, uni thing. But then we go down, right? I cannot believe there's literally 3 of them right here. That's the crazy part. So they're all connected to okay, here's the left. The left is another Xenoblade thing. That's the dirt. That's off the cape. So a face that's off the cape into the dirt, the lowly dirt. That surprise 1, 2, 3 that's down below is good. That's a good one. That's good. The 3, the shocks. Mario 64 stuff. So that's V for Vengeance also, Tail. That's what's hard. Sometimes they're they look so stupid. They look pointless. And then you look at them again, and then you look at them again, and it's a tail face. So that's pretty crazy. Next to it, that's where we get into this. Next to these, I like how that face looks. Gosh dang it. There's going to be those food products you're going to remember of too, like the potato food products and potato smiles and all kinds of things. So it's you don't really have to count to 3 on that one. You could do a 1, 2 on that one. That's the whole point. It's a half-half, like a Mithra, Pyra kind of stuff. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of vengeance stuff. That's cool that we got more because they have their flat feet and their ideas behind their flat feet. So we got this thing doing this. We're going to get into a lot of Ray because Ray's just sharp foot. And Ray doesn't even need to be black. It doesn't need to be black. Darkness doesn't need to do that. It needs to be confusing, right? So then when you go to the right, yes, there's another 1, 2, 3 face idea with a foot. But the one I like to look at is the 1, 2, where it looks like a dress and 2 legs. And that's the title of this video. And I was surprised because I kept on looking at this thing. At first I wanted to look at it as an A, but I got another one. And yes, it's going to happen because Shadow of Colossus has a very controversial thing in it that I love. And you will be very scared once you start to understand this the more and more. I've done a sound bit to it on my channel where I've done a little sound bit to this noise. But once you start to get the ideas that I'm doing, you'll be like, okay. Yeah, but we just keep adding it up, you know what I'm saying? We add another one. The teeth are really crazy. Yeah, you could see if you want to go underneath we're going to start calling the crest, the center crest of Wanderer's Cape. We're just going to call it the Lady Gaga boob kind of thing. But if you decide to go down, you're going to have a tooth. And, Reef Fantasia is about the teeth, right? And you're going to notice that the teeth look like a pair of legs, right? Okay. So this is all on his cape, yep. All on his cape. And there's another thing that looks like almost like an H. There's another thing that looks like an H. It's kind of cool how X, when she says go down, but she has if you go down her feet, she has that detail on her feet. So the H is like you can make the detail of her feet. So a pair of legs. See, her shoe is a very scary shoe because it's like the spikes are divided like a dual kind of crown kind of thing. So it's divided that way to get an easy way into legs. All right. And the eye picker, the witch, the witch that's in Shin Megami Tensei Vengeance. We also have Stellar Blade, all the characters looking like in Stellar. We have Arms, right? Arms is even the better one. Yeah, I like Arms because that whole entire game, Arms, is crazy. That's a crazy one, too. Yeah, that's pretty insane. And the way that you play Arms, it's pretty absurd. To me, it almost looks like a phlegm. And the witch talking about a vagina phlegm, I have no idea if that's what it's trying to do. I think, there's also, the urethra of a penis, what I'm saying? The urethra of a penis. But, Silent Hill talks about how both male and female parts, they do a blatant thing about, how both the male and female parts have kind of, a similar genetic makeup, So you have to play some Silent Hill Shattered Memories for that one. And I really like that one that's crammed down there. That's just really cool. That's what the heck is that? Yeah, so Ico decided they wanted to do the whole slash stuff. You can slash in verse. This is going to be the easiest way you'll be able to see it. It's by the tooth. So one of the tooth's legs is doing a slash. Basically another tail. Tail's really crazy. Tail's easy way to make Mario 64 feet, so it's pretty crazy kind of detail. Now, if you've paid attention to a lot of this, right, this will eventually get you down. Oh my gosh, to his crazy new character design for his new game. Fumito has his new character design of a character. You have Garium, you have Fi, you have all kinds of things, right? But, yeah, he has a whole entire new character design. And yes, so how about a pair of legs, right? Going into another pair of legs, right? It's crazy how it's not even tilted up. It's probably talking about the different forms of feet. Because, yeah, people have different forms of feet. The reason in Spyro, Leela, and the characters within that have their feet doing that kind of stuff is that there are different ways that humans walk. You know what I'm saying? There's different ways that humans walk, and there's different health ideas you have, to flattening your feet or not flattening your feet, right? So there's that kind of thing. Yes, you will see another pair of legs down if you choose to keep going down below a mouth. Yeah, we've been having a lot of these recently. So, there's going to be a lot of mouth legs. That's why I like the elongated, because Mario 64 is elongated, right? And then the elongated face is to go up to Ray, because Shadow of Colossus is about Ray. So it's to have a mouth go up to eyes. It's basically eyes being like a pair of legs, because you can get a pair of legs in your eyes. Basically, your whole entire day is done with if you end up getting a pair of legs in your eyes kind of thing. So your whole entire day is, yep. So there is that kind of thing. I do like that with this picture, though. You can just do a 1-2. It's another creepy 1-2 on the cape. And if you do that 1-2, you're going to get to BP with ease, right? You're going to get to all the sunglasses ideas, the Squirtle having sunglasses, all kinds of things. a lot of discussion, X's vagina, all kinds of things, but you're going to get into a hole kind of thing, right? So you're going to get into two of these two holes. And that's pretty good emotion right there. I mean, there might be a little bit better form of emotion, but and you see like how there's one face that's like, like basically the 1-2 is to have like one of the faces to look at because it's all looking happy, and then the other one not to look happy, right? Because the other one does not look happy. That's what makes it scary, because one's happy and then the other one's not happy. And I suppose a vagina could do that, right? I suppose that's on his arm. I suppose a vagina could do that, sure. Midna had some pretty crazy legs, of course, and yeah, I could see a vagina probably doing that. It's all right. It's a but why kind of thing. So yeah, it's angled it the right way for Uni also. So that's the reason why Uni has that. It's just like one of the best leg armors ever. And maybe her leg armor is just to easily get you into the feet and legs up there. So there's that. The crazy thing too is the box arts of Xenoblade are very scary. Yeah, they're very scary box arts because the very first one, the special book art that you got, it was all the characters. Like they weren't like looking at you; they were looking into the distance, kind of thing. And that one too is really good on that cape. That is what's so surprising about this picture is like there's two kinds of capes. There's one down below, right? And the one that's down below is surprisingly good because one, it looks like a pair of legs. Lady Gaga's whole black shine thing, she has like a pair of legs kind of idea going on the clothing item, right? But do you see the one, two? There's this, they always say a little smile on your face. Well, there's the little smile you can see up above on one of the feet, but it's looking like an eye, see? So it looks scary looking. I like how scary looking it looks. It's a very scary, twisted kind of thing because it's trying to show off Mario 64 stuff, right? And it goes like this. It's really complex, so you gotta pay attention. The eye, and then there's another eye, so it's like two eye feet, right? And then if you go to where the mouth would be, like, because the mouth has no expression, that's the stuff I like to look at when I think about Mario 64 stuff, is these no expression things. Because you will get a little smile if you see the Mario 64 secret. See what I'm saying? You're going to get a little smile if you see the Mario 64 secret. But they don't really have that much of a smile because, they're not really wanting to be found kind of thing, right? Also, it's crazy. The little smile could be a smile that has no emotion, right? It has like no emotion. There could be that. And it's an easy thing to use this method because they had a whole idea behind this method. And the whole idea was use the little smile, make angry eyes, right? Make a little angry eye kind of thing, right? Use the smile, flip this over, you got a pair of legs, right? So the ways to get into Shadow of the Colossus's legs. So they have like these little tiny hints, right? And then now you're going to the left, and you got a circle, right? And it's gonna go up, and it's gonna be two pair of legs, right? If you go to the left, this whole cape on the bottom, she's just, it's too much. It's too much with her. When she says you're gonna go down, she really means that you're gonna go down. That's her whole entire thing about that. And they got another uni side thing that I was looking at, and it's pretty. What's pretty crazy is that we have Devil Survivor 2, which has the concert people, which it's gonna be. There's always gonna be a lot of things on Ray, and I really like how it's like even like there's even like an odd eye, so there's like another pair of legs going into another pair of legs, right? Footsie, right? And now, I can't, even with the fact that, like, like, I know you're gonna be probably looking at this, and this is a really weird one right here, is that this is the idea of one looking for bloatation. This is the idea of trying to find pregnancy. The idea of trying to find kinds of crazy things. We just have a ton of crazy video game characters too, But it's also the idea of, like, the movement of legs, how legs would have these kind of crazy movements, right? And losing weight, because losing weight is a whole entire progression I've talked about in my past videos, like losing weight, when you're just losing weight and you're trying to get that stubborn belly fat off, right? So there's that kind of thing. And yeah, this is basically the challenges of life, of the things you can do in life and things that you actually have to do in life, and is a big obstacle, right? So yes, it looks sad to the right. It wants to go once again into like a high knee. Remember, Shin Megami Tensei likes to do the high knee stuff, right? But it's to show off this creepy, sad face right here. And that's the whole entire idea that is behind it. It's like to give you a box art that you can see at a store. But really, it's a evil face that you would love to go and find for Mario 64 stuff. And even Shadow of Colossus stuff, too, you could go with, because Shadow of Colossus loves to do the connected stuff. They love to be connected. We have a crazy-looking S that's to the right where his bandages are. So we have a crazy S. That's a really cool S to have due to sports teams, due to all kinds of things, all kinds of sports teams, Shamrock Shake, all kinds of crazy ideas, right? Go Green, Shamrock Shake, there is to the left a human kind of thing, which is crazy due to the character that you control in Spyro to move underneath the door, because there's a door that you have to go underneath, and you're a kangaroo, So we do have that, and that is still to this bottom part cape, right? Not the top cape, bottom part cape to the left, right? And what's pretty messed up too is a long time ago, when people were just trying to figure out Shadow of the Colossus, we had little ideas, you know what I'm saying? Tiny ideas. We had tiny ideas. Those tiny ideas were not, what we needed, right? What we needed to know was what the heck was with Spyro, because there's also another Spyro game, right? I was playing that Spyro game, right? In this Spyro game, so yes, females do have a pair of underwear like this, and a slouch underwear, like I told you, when clothes slouch down, there's a certain reason why clothes slouch down. It's a certain kind of energy to the human nature, the nature of a human, right? And if you really start to like look at this, the crazy part, because it's just supposed to be really scary, But the really crazy part about this is I love the detail. I love the detail. The detail reminds me of one, that I'm looking for a certain texture. And the reason I'm looking for this texture is it's a texture that has a certain kind of feeling to it of the texture, So that's the kind of thing to look for. The armpits thing, it's always going to be a thing. That's how we're going to get into tries, because Pits 3, armpits, right? So that's how we're going to get to the try of this, right? I like how it looks so odd looking, because Shadow of Colossus, what I love about Shadow of Colossus' secrets is they're like odd connections that, like, it doesn't just look like an arm, it looks like a vein, like the arm looks like a vein, So that's the kind of stuff I look for in Shadow of the Colossus, right? And it's crazy. This thing has another elongated try to get into BP. So BP's one eye can be two eyes. Just one eye of BP can be two eyes. And that's why BP laughs. BP laughs in Shadow of the Colossus. Mew laughs in the movie, But BP likes to laugh due to how crazy it is. It's to laugh to be like. So if somebody was to discover the Shadow of Colossus secret, right? But they never seen the Mario 64 secret, that's why he'd be like laughing, that kind of thing, you know? And yeah, if you want to look at this 1, 2, 3 and look at it as a little smile kind of idea, you're probably going to start looking at more food products, you know? You might even, just maybe, you'll look at the cookies, the Christmas cookies, Christmas tree cookies, maybe. Sometimes you'll hit or miss, but you're not a hit or miss this time. This time you're trying to be an eye, a vagina eye. Yep. That's what his whole entire leg is doing right now. It's trying to be like a vagina eye, and it's maybe, just maybe even, I'd stick with the vagina eye though, because for Ray. But just maybe, I mean, what, an E? I guess it could do an E. I mean, console M, sure. Underwear, sure. Lowly dirt, underwear, you know, like if a female's having sex, you know, right, on her back, you know, lowly dirt. Yeah, it's really nasty to look at. If you start to look at it through the underwear idea, which is a preferred idea to look at it for, it just reminds me of like, you know, just like Fallen Star kind of crazy stuff and all kinds of insane things. And then you're going to get a really creepy face on the dirt going back to the thing. So it's going to have, and that's the way it most likely wants you to look at it, like looking at like a butt face kind of thing. So it wants you to look at that for that way, you know. And the faces are really messed up. I feel like the smiles don't have that much smile or expression to them due to insects and stuff, you know. And oh, that is such a cool little detail. That's a surprise. Xenoblade stuff coming off of Wanderer's skin. So to get into another try. All the tries are really crazy. So if you're wanting to get into another awesome try, just go to the bandages, go to the top, go to the non-smile. You'll see it, and it will be like a little like 1, 2, 3 try, and it's gonna keep doing this thing for the doors because Spyro's crazy doors. But the crazy thing about the door is, think about how a door, when you're going through a door, what would Ray easily be able to do? That's right. Ray would also could be a BP, right? But Ray could also easily come down, step on your head. See that? So that's the kind of idea behind making a door design, specific door designs, you know, just make another door design, another one. I like that you could even churn over the picture. And if you choose to churn over the picture, yeah. Oh gosh. Another elongated, but this time it's like an elongated vagina. And then that's how we're going to get into another sharp Ray foot. So like, I mean, like what? A foot coming out of an eye hole, right? Like coming out of an eye hole. And that's the whole thing I talk about with people. Because what people do is they try to look at a video game and they're not smart enough to know what the video game is. And I'm kind of like, well, think about it. If they're going to make a Shin Megami Tensei game, right, the first one that they made on the Nintendo Switch, and then you see a character with holes, right? And the holes are darkness, right? And then you have like humans going into the holes, right? You know, that's a really crazy ideas to have, you know, for blatant. It's not even a thing that you're like looking in for the video game, you know, it's just a blatant, right? So that's the whole entire idea where I'm like, no. Get away from me, YouTuber. You know, there's gonna be a certain YouTuber that you guys, that's I'm making the video entertaining. You're gonna look at this YouTuber and be like, nah, I don't like you, man. That's the kind of thing. You're gonna be like, oh no, that was not good thought. No, that was not a good idea. That's the kind of thing, the kind of energy, because there's on YouTube. It's gonna be like, you need to think again. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a whole thing of you need to think again. That kind of spot. His hand is having another thing that's like Zelda, which is pretty scary. Zelda crawling on his hand, sure, right? And this is all on his right arm. The left arm, for the most part, on the left arm is just kind of looking like the fingers want to be Ray or something. I mean, there's boobs up above. That's good. That's all right. 1, 2, 3. There's going to be a certain animation cartoon that I got to be reminded of with this one, especially because they have all those cartoons that like look up into your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like the eyes, they look up into your soul. Those kind of pictures. I wonder if it really does want me to flip it over. It's looking like it does want me to flip it over. Ishtar, yeah. Yeah, who stands before me? Ishtar, yep. Who stands before me? Due to that Zelda, what Zelda does is in Twilight Princess, she holds the sword a certain way, right? And the crazy one I was like trying to look at it too is because you have Princess Peach, you have Fi, right? And another YouTuber. There's gonna be another YouTuber you can go and look up where they just don't know what they're talking about with art style. So I try to help people with art styles, but like they just don't get it. They don't get the whole idea of what's actually going on for the video game. And if you want kind of like a clear discussion when you're talking about Legend of Zelda games, you're gonna have to put in research because there's whole ideas. But you know why it's doing this thing on his left in the picture? You know why it's doing this shadow, this whole ray thing that looks like a vagina, all kinds of things. It's doing this to get you down below, to go down,